pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. Father, thank you so much for this day and once again this opportunity to come together and discuss business for the school. God, I just pray that you would be with us tonight and just give us wisdom as we make decisions. And God, we just thank you for this school district and all those who work for it. And God, I pray that you've given them a great time of rest and God, recuperation this summer, and that they would be ready to go as the new school year begins in August. And God, I just pray that it would be the greatest school year that Huntsville School District has ever had. And God, I just pray once again that you be with our time tonight. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
We do have a quorum, and I'm going to call this school board meeting of Tuesday, July 16th, 2024 to order.
All right, thank you. It's good to see everyone. Good to see this group. Spent a lot of time with this group today, so it's good to see you all again. It's good to see you all. It's an honor to be here with you. The consent agenda. You've had an opportunity to look at the consent agenda. We have the agenda that we have set for tonight. The minutes from last month's meeting, the district financial reports are provided to you, and we are required by law to report to you in the summer that we have completed the comprehensive school safety assessment. That has been completed. We will share more information with you on that at a later date. Bailey, anything you want to add to that?
No, that's just part of the LEARNS Act, is that we're required to perform a comprehensive school safety assessment by August 1. And then at a later date and time when we can schedule briefing an executive session on what all safety improvements that we found and looking at making.
So those items have been taken care of. If anyone has any questions, I would entertain those. If not, I would recommend that we approve the consent agenda.
And I'll take a motion. Motion by Natalie, second by Ms. Timber. All in favor?
All right, thank you. Every month we'll do a student achievement report. It is summertime, so our students are out, our teachers are out. But Matt has worked with Tanya, and we do have a student achievement report. So Matt, I'll turn it over to you.
That's what, I mean, typically we're looking at scores and all that right now, but we won't have those for quite a while, and our report cards won't come out for a long time, so this year is going to be a little different for us. But I did ask Tanya to speak a little bit about our extended school year services, so I'll turn it over to her to do that.
I think I shared a little bit at the end of May that we were having this in June, but extended school year, it's sometimes referred to as summer school, but it's really not. And it's for students that have an IEP. And when we have a break, like Christmas break, spring breaks, long snow breaks, we keep data on skills that they know before that break. And then when they come back, we review that same material or the pieces of information that they've learned, or a skill they've learned, or even if it's being able to stay on a task for 2 or 3 minutes or whatever it is. How long does it take them to get that skill back again? Did they regress or completely forget it? And then how long does it take them to recoup it again? That's how we decide who gets to go. So it's really your students with more severe impairment. But anyway, we had 13 students this year. We held it at the middle school. They have a good place in Mr. Prayer's classroom. It was 4 weeks. They worked on IEP goals, and then they also did a lot of social skills. I know they did a lot of cooking projects where they were able to follow directions, and lots of social skills, doing things together. And it's a program that is reimbursed after the fact, so it doesn't cost us anything. It's based on attendance, so we will get reimbursed for our teachers.
I have that picture.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And this is and they are actually doing a skill there. Whitney can help me with that, but they are, that's shaving cream, but I think they were doing letters doing.
Or do some skills like that.
It's also a sensory
Looks pretty
skill
fun.
too.
Yes, it was. So that was the picture that someone had sent me in the summer and I found it on my phone.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Anyone have any questions about the services that were provided? All right, then we will move on. The administration reports, and we will start wherever we feel comfortable. Bailey, would you want to get us started?
I will. So we've been busy getting stuff ready for summer, getting ready for teachers and students to be back. We have been making quite a few security improvements this summer with adding additional cameras, replacing our camera system at high school, adding additional access control and mass notification hardware. We've been going through and upgrading monitors in our teacher classrooms and other areas and setting up their technology for them so that when they come back, it's all set up and ready to go. And so we've just been hard at it, and the guys will tell you I've been pushing them pretty hard, and they're looking forward to school, so hopefully it'll let up just a little bit. But I'm very proud of them. I'm very happy with what we've been able to get done.
All right. Maintenance?
Well, I want to start off and thank all of our custodians. Our custodians have worked their tails off this summer. I asked a lot of them. We've struggled through some parts at the intermediate getting the wax done, but we finally got everything stripped and finished today. We're going to start waxing tomorrow, so we're on the downhill slide of our waxing. We've got every other campus waxed, ready to go, with the exception of the intermediate. We kind of buttoned up all of our year-end projects, from the fire inspections to the fire alarms. The only thing I've got left is the elevator and the septic being pumped in at St. Paul. So we're moving along. Starting next week, we're gonna start trying to do some painting, some pressure washing, cleaning up on some of the outside and stuff, and trying to get things ready for school. Like Bailey said, I think our custodians are ready for school to start back too.
Food service?
Yes, I received 2 grants for smoothie machines for intermediate and middle school, so I'm excited about that. Also, this next school year coming up, free snacks, district-wide, so.
Transportation?
I'm gonna say bus drivers are not ready to go back to school yet. We've pretty much been trying to hire all this summer. We're getting there. I think we'll be okay. St. Paul's still great. We're gonna be right back where we were last year in Huntsville, all hands on deck. We've got 2 still kind of working on their CDL right now, but I think they'll be ready for day 1. Should be all right.
Work up to the front row, intermediate school.
We are working on pacing out our curriculum this summer on our PD days, and just getting schedules done and ready for a new school year.
Well, ditto. Our teachers have been working this summer, re-pacing their curriculum to align with the 4-day week. So all of those grade levels have met, and making sure that they're set for the upcoming school year. And like she said, just kind of all of those, getting class lists ready and all of that stuff going on.
Federal programs?
So our application that we submitted, or that was due last month, was submitted on time and everything. That was that new one that I was so excited about. But everybody got together and everybody got their parts done. And so we're just kind of waiting now to hear back from the State Department on any changes or suggestions that they have. But all of that's turned in, and we're starting budgets.
Special
I'm gonna talk about Title IX just for 1 second. August 1st is supposed to be the implementation of the new guidelines that came out that are pretty controversial. But however, our governor has said we are not doing those and has ordered the schools to not follow all of those guidelines. So right now we are following the 2020 regulations that we have been using until we hear differently. So still monitoring that pretty close. I've been doing quite a bit of training with that, so.
Treasurer?
I'm working on closing the year out, and, in my world, you don't even know if school's out. So it's that whole thing. So
same thing every day, so anyway, it's a busy time of year for us in this office, getting lots of new employees in the system so we can get them paid, just all the routine stuff, but it's going well.
All right, middle school?
Well, I'm new, of course you guys know, and I'm excited to be here, by the way, but I'm trying to just dive in and learn the ropes, and we are working on scheduling and making the final plans for school to start in August, so doing good.
Another newbie in the high school?
I'm glad to be in Huntsville, proud to be an Eagle. Been a very good experience so far. We were making some good changes at the high school. We're putting in a very large window between the office area and the lobby, and that'll make it easier for school personnel to communicate with people in the lobby without them actually coming in. That's huge for safety. And it also just helps traffic because our office is not that big. And so some physical plant things we're doing, and Bailey and his crew's done a great job. Elaine's done a great job with his crew, and I'm very happy to work with him.
Athletics.
All right, a couple of things right quick. First off, just want to let you know that on Saturday night, we're using the activity center to host some wrestling. It's a great idea. The closer it gets, the more nervous I get. Just because you don't know. I watched it on TV a lot. I won't admit publicly that I've been to a couple of them in person when I was younger. That's just a rumor. But I think it's going to be a really good night. They're expecting a huge crowd there, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And again, just like I said, we got that activity center. We want to use it as much as we can and show it off as much as we can. And this will be unique. It'll be different. The following weekend, we'll have the opposite spectrum. We'll have a beauty pageant in there. So we're getting some good use out of it, and we're excited about that. And I want to let you know about that. Also, Lane and the maintenance guys got our Perry weather station up on the football stadium now, and if you've seen social media, it's showed a couple of things. It got a really cool picture of a sunset the other day, and it's already helped our football guys with the wet ball glove thermometer we have to have, and it's already picked off a lightning strike for us that sounded the alarm. So it's going to be a really good thing, especially for our outdoor sports and our elementary and intermediate students that are outside. That weather might be coming we might not be able to see yet, and it's going to help us keep us safe. So excited to get all that going on. You want me to dive into this now, or?
Dive into it.
All right. I did email, y'all are like, oh boy.
Yeah. What are we doing?
And first off, for my St. Paul folks, this is not affecting y'all at all right now. So this is just more Huntsville. But I emailed y'all last week about the increase in price for admission for the games, and preparing you guys in case it caused a little bit of a stir. And to be 100% honest with you, it's gone over way more smooth than I expected. That's a good thing.
Knock on some wood right now.
What now?
Better knock on some wood.
Yeah, I know. So far, so good. So far, so good. The conference got together and asked if we could raise prices for admission. Because the cost of keeping up with game day officials and workers and things like that is, especially the officiating costs, are going up tremendously. We had to bump our football official prices, the total amount, about $200 this year for the upcoming year, just to keep up, because schools down in the River Valley around Fort Smith were paying so much more than we were. The officials from Northwest Arkansas were willing to travel to the River Valley to officiate because they'd make enough money it was worth it.
So maybe we're gonna get some that knows what they're doing.
I can't make any promises.
I understand.
In theory, yes. In theory, yes. So we've had to bump that up, and we met as ADs. It was presented to the superintendents on an increase to $7 a game for adults and $5 per student. And I'll say this, after talking to Mr. Warren initially and Mr. Law, we went back and requested an increase of just to $6 a night and for adults and $5 for students. And but we were heavily outvoted. There were a couple other schools that were along lines with ours, but we got outvoted, and everyone had agreed that we would do it as a conference, so one school wasn't having to be the bad guy. It works out well for all of us in that aspect of it. And so the vote was made to be $7 for adults, $5 for students. I've spoken with Mr. Law because obviously that's going to increase and affect some of the things we do here. And the main question I was asked once this came out was, what about our students here, because they get in free at our home events. And speaking with Mr. Law, we both agreed that we are going to continue to allow students to be in free. That's a lot of money on one end that we're giving up. But we understand how important that is, and we want to try to do what's right by our people in our town. Our season passes will increase. I did the math on that. Right now, if you went to every game that we offered on our campuses and you paid for the season pass, you're getting in for about 10% of the total value. So it's a really good deal if you went to every game. If you go to every football game, that season pass is already paid for the rest of the year. With our junior high and home and senior high home games. So what we've decided to do on that is we're going to take the amount of cost for our passes and bump it up a little bit. So the price will go up, but the percentage value is actually going to go up too. We're not going to actually go to the same percentage value. We're going to cut a little bit to keep it from being so drastic. So what we've talked about is our season pass is worth $60. For if you're 59 and under, and then $20 if you're between 60 and 64, and then free if you're over 65. And what we've agreed to go to, if everyone goes, is up to $80 if you're 59 and under, $40 for that 60 to 64 window, and still free for anyone over 65. And again, that does go up about $20 each, but your percentage value also goes up with that as well. So you're getting a little bit better deal than what you even were last year at a higher price. So it's been, I don't want to say complicated, but you want to do what's right. You want to make sure that you're funding your athletic department at the same time, but you don't want to just make it so expensive that folks just can't get there.
Yeah, you don't want to run fans off either.
Right, yeah, and we're trying to dance that fine line, and after speaking with Mr. Law and coming up with these numbers, I think we've hit a pretty good spot. And just as a reference, Ms. Tina got this for me today. Just as a reference, this past year, when you're counting officials, gate workers, concession stand workers that we paid, for our events here, it cost us $48,439.96 to run off events here at Huntsville. So almost $50,000 worth of officials, and the vast majority of that is officials, but officials and workers. So it's pretty expensive to put all that on, and like I said, that's not even counting the other things. That's just officials and workers. So this is going to help us meet that number a little bit better. So
my thoughts on that are we want to have first-class program. We want our kids to have every advantage to be able to compete. And unfortunately, dollars are part of that. We have to have the equipment, we have to have the things that are needed. And, when Coach Preston and I talked about this initially, we hate to see prices go up. But the truth of the matter is, all we have to do is go to the store and no prices have gone up. And so therefore, things cost us more than they did. Officials cost us much more than they did. And I want our students to be competitive. And to be honest with you, we have tried to run programs here that could pay for themselves to some degree, as much as possible. We don't certainly want to be putting textbook money into that. So unfortunately, this just looks like where we're at. And when Coach Preston came to me and talked about the all-season pass, I believe $85 was an even number, but he decided to go to $80 just to be a little bit, to make that percentage that he was talking about a little bit easier for our families. So with our students getting in free, with the cut in the passes, I think we're being as fair as we can be. This has come to us late, and so it is not in your agenda. And typically, I don't like to bring things in that are not on the agenda. And we don't necessarily have to do anything on the ticket prices tonight, because we won't start charging ticket prices until we have another meeting. But the quicker we can approve the pass, the quicker they can begin to sell the passes. And the earlier they sell the passes, obviously, the more money they have an opportunity to bring in. So,
Okay, students are free. What about underage? Are they free, like not school-age kids?
Yes, that's always been what we've done.
Okay.
Anyone that was, I guess you could say 4 or under,
Yeah.
preschool age has gotten in free
Okay.
for us, so.
Our students or
And-
other school, other kids pay, other team students pay?
Yes, now, it's just that when we say at our events, it's just our students to get in. I know the high school and middle school students have to show their badge, and that helps them. Primary students, usually have somebody with them.
Right.
And that helps us too. And so our gate workers are pretty good at noticing what colors you're wearing and where you go to school. But yeah, any other student has to pay when they come in. When our students go to away games, they're gonna have to pay the $5. So that's the other side of that. So an away game, you're paying the full price, but we're cutting you a deal here at our place.
we would certainly generate more revenue by charging students, but we would lose some atmosphere. We would lose those kids in the crowd. We would also lose those young kids that look out there and say, wow, this looks like fun, and someday I'm gonna do this. And there's just a lot of advantages to letting the students in for free.
And I do believe our homeschool students within our district that are working with our district do get in free as well. If I remember correctly, they're included in that, so.
Can you tell me the prices for the season pass again?
It'll be $80 for if you're 59 and under, and then $40 if you're 60 to 64. And then free if you're above 65.
Okay.
I'm gonna make a motion, we can start with it right now.
I would recommend then that we accept the passes.
Absolutely.
Have a motion?
Like 5 seconds to pick
All
one.
right, and that would be based on the age, and you gave those prices out a while ago. That was $80.
$80 if you're 59 and under, $40 if you're 60 to 64, and then 65 and up are free.
All in favor of that?
This is for everything, right? We're
Yes.
just getting it all knocked out right now.
Well,
Process and passes.
If you're ready to go with the price, we'll go with it too.
I just say get everything
Yeah,
at once. Yeah.
Is that the motion?
Yes, sir.
Okay, is that the second?
Second.
Okay.
All right, all in favor?
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you all.
All right,
Thank you for your work on that, Coach.
No
Yes.
problem, no problem.
few things now that yes,
Another
sir.
question.
Yes, sir.
High school principal, Mr. Mills. I've had several parents ask me that's got ninth graders, want to know why they quit letting ninth graders get into CTE this year. Have you got an answer for that, or something we can address and let them know in the office meeting? Because I've had a few calls on it.
Yeah, I can't tell you why that happened. I'm not sure. I've got a couple of meetings scheduled with some CTE folks to kind of talk about that. I don't have an answer.
When you report back next month at our meeting, would you be able to answer that question at that point?
They were told the counselors would not even talk to them about CTE. And that's 4 calls.
We'll get you some
Okay,
information.
thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Couple things I'd like to just throw in here as we go. Number one, the district finances. You have that information provided in your consent agenda. We are in what is known as period 13 right now, which is kind of the cleanup period at the end of June, because certainly some bills come due late, and the end of the fiscal year is June 30th. So we don't have an exact number yet. We were Tina and I were discussing that today. We do feel like we're going to end the last school year after the period 13 is done in a strong position. We do feel like we will have some money to transfer to the building fund, as your request was in the last board meeting. As far as the item of budgeting for next year and disbursement of funds for next year, we are probably still a couple of weeks away from being able to move forward with that, but we will certainly have more information on that as we move forward into our August meeting. I would say that we're in a good position financially. Y'all have done a good job, and previous administration's done a good job, and this group has done a good job. We're in a good shape financially. That doesn't mean we're rolling in pots of money, but we are in good shape. A couple things I would just like to report is I have had an opportunity to go around to all the buildings but one. I haven't made it to the bus barn yet, and we had a conflict on that day, but we have plans to do that. I did spend about a half a day down at St. Paul last week, and that was enjoyed being shown around by Mr. Dunlap, looking at some of the things that are taking place there and meeting a lot of people. And had a fine cheeseburger at the restaurant down there. That was great. It's a great team to work with. I have certainly enjoyed, we have met twice, and I believe that there's going to be some great things happen here. I can't say enough about them. Matt has been a great assistant. And quick as I start naming names, I'm going to forget somebody or leave something. I shouldn't do that. But everybody in this office, Bailey and Tina and everybody in this office has been great to work with so far. The principals have been great to work with. It has really been a plus, and so I just throw that out. As we move into the item of new business, we have our officers set for this year. We do need to elect new officers. We currently have Whitney, Josh, and Nick as our president, vice president, and secretary. You can leave that as it is. You can change. It's totally your decision. It's totally your part of the board meeting. I will turn that over to you all. We would need a motion, a second, and a vote for each position.
Each, and just do it all in group.
It's better if we do it each.
I make a motion that Whitney remain as the president.
I'll second that.
Any opposed? All right. Vice President, Josh is currently vice president. Do we?
Make a motion it stays the same.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
All right. All right, and Nick is our secretary.
Make a motion.
All right.
I second it.
All right, all in favor? All right, perfect. So with that being done, the dispersing officers for the board will not change for next year since they are still in place. As item B comes up, the designation of dispersing officers, the one that has changed is the superintendent. And so I will need for you all to appoint me as one of the dispersing officers along with your board. And we will need a motion in a second for that.
Make a motion.
Second, all in favor?
Okay. All right. Item C, the designation of superintendent as the ex officio financial officer. What that means is, since I am not a board member, I am appointed ex officio. I'm appointed in your place to deal with financial matters as covered by our board policy that I'm allowed to cover. So every school district has to name an ex officio. It is always superintendent, but it is a formality that we have to go through.
Can I get a motion? I make a motion by Natalie, second. And Josh, all in favor?
Item D has changed, and item D is the approval of handbook changes. With me just coming on and the changes that have taken place and 2 new principals, and we met a week ago and talked about handbook changes. We made the agenda, and then we met again today and realized we can't do as good a job as you need us to do with that at this point. So we are going to request to move that back to next month, and we will. Our plan, our hope is to, with your permission, is to have our board meeting on the 6th. On Tuesday night the 6th at 5:30, which would then allow you to approve the handbook changes in time for us to still get out to our parent meetings and get that information out to our parents ahead of time. So there is no action to take there. Item E is slid underneath your folder. It is one that I got late This is an approval. This names the superintendent as your representative to the Northwest Arkansas Service Cooperative. This is a new law that came out a couple of years ago, and they wanted each board to appoint a person to do that. And, you know, as my time at the co-op, I will tell you, that also has always been superintendent. It's been done, but, I mean, you can name one of you if you choose to do that, but.
I make a motion
We would
that
need a
we,
motion and a second for that.
the superintendent be our representative of the co-op.
Alright, all in favor?
All right. If you will turn to tab F and flip it back, you will see the insurance. And this is, yeah, it's frightening, isn't it? It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. School insurance has gone up. It is funny, last year as I was co-op director, I would sit there and listen to all the superintendents complain about it, and now here I am fighting. But it has gone up. I was talking to a person just the other day here in town, and they were talking about their home insurance going up.
Home insurance, auto
Yep.
insurance, multi
And so
house
you
insurance.
take that and multiply that by all the buildings we have, all the buses we have, all the cars we have, and it just drives the price up. State of Arkansas self-insures us through this policy, but this is, or state insures us through this policy. There has been discussions about trying to get a different company in to deal with school insurance, but that has kind of fallen apart. And so, to be honest with you, this is what it is. It is, I believe we said a $60,000 increase.
Yes, about 25%.
On property and about $2,000 on the vehicle. So it is a shot that certainly will have to be reflected in next year's budget, but we don't have many options.
Gotta love those insurance companies.
So I would recommend that we approve the policy for next year as presented for property and vehicle insurance.
Motion. Nick, can I get a second? Steve, all in favor?
All right, thank you.
I wouldn't put my own person on. No, there's not.
Two more items, somewhat of paperwork variety, are to appoint me as a signer at Cornerstone Bank and appoint me, Ron Law, as a signer at Harvest Bank. We have, that is, you know, our financial records, our financial documents, we deal with both banks. Superintendent.
Make the motion to accept both.
All in favor?
All right, thank you. All right, that works us through that section. Personnel. We thought we had the personnel packet put together, and then we found out today that there were, you know, we're still hiring, we're still, have additional people come in. Matt worked on that today. That is in their, it is in their packet.
I did add a few today and took one off that had backed out of the position, so.
Where is that?
There's one thing.
What tab?
Way back in the back.
Like very last
Tab
one.
7.
All right. So that slate of personnel, as you see there, July 16th is the slate of personnel we have to present for tonight. The hires, resignations, and transfers. That gets us almost set on personnel. I know there are still a few positions that are still out, we're still working on. But this is going to become the majority of it. The great majority.
Is this Mikey Foster, like graduate, like our Mikey Foster?
Yep.
He might probably have to go back.
So pending any questions, my recommendation to the board would be that we approve the slate of personnel as presented in your board packet.
Can I get a motion?
Motion by Josh, second by Nick, all in favor? Motion carries.
Couple of additional things I have, mostly for informational purposes. You probably saw this, but the governor has come out with a plan through the Department of Ed to limit cell phones in schools. The plan is that schools that do that will receive a small amount of funding to help offset costs. One of the plans, one of the things that they sent out is this little bag that is a leather bag. Students bring their cell phone in in the morning, and it is sealed up with a magnetic device, probably similar to what you have at a clothing store when you buy a shirt and it has that thing on it. And then it has to be, it cannot be opened, and then at the end of the day, it can be unlocked. There is some concerns with that. I don't have a good position to tell you where I'm at on that right now, to be honest. That came out last week. We met with the principals. We saw some discussions. We had some discussions. We saw some concerns with that. We certainly are 100% in agreement that cell phones have to be handled right during the day at school. I would be less than honest than to say that there will be parents that are glad their kids have cell phones at school. And I do think that cell phones at school can be a problem with the educational process also. We just haven't had enough time yet to look at this and say whether or not we think this is the best plan for us. I know our middle school last year went to a policy or plan that limited cell phone usage during the day. I think for the most part that went well, and I think that did not necessarily require kids to come and secure their phone every day, and so
Well, they shouldn't keep it in their backpack.
yeah. And so
I think there was a policy in the handbook last year that apparently didn't get enforced because there was pictures posted all day long at several of the schools, and they was not supposed to be called on them. They were supposed to take them to the office. Second time, the parent had to come pick the phone up, but I didn't hear anybody ever having to do that. So leadership right there was a failure on that last year.
well, I think that there are ways to do this maybe without this process. Where I think I am and where I think that we are is we're just not ready to bring anything to you about this. This came out in the news. We are aware of it. I will tell you, I did check the box that said we are interested in continuing discussions about it because we might be. But until we have more time to look at that, I mean, I can't imagine how it's going to look at the high school at the end of the day if 400 kids show up and say, where's that device so I can take my phone out of the bag? It's going to be a mess. So there are some questions. I think the intent of it is good. I think that we need to continue to investigate the options that are available with it. I just share that with you because it came out in the news. I wanted to tell you we have had discussions about it. And, we would certainly, I don't want to catch you today and you say this is what I think, but I do think that by putting this out, it gives you some time to think about it, process it, talk to people, see what the thoughts in the community are. I think probably surveying parents would be a good idea if we decide to move on. I think there's work to be done if we decide to do it. I think that we just want to share it with you all tonight, make you aware of it, let you know that we're aware of it. It's been in the news, we're aware of it, and we are working on it, and we will look for maybe next month's meeting, you all to have a little time to think about that, and know where you think we're at.
Ms. Prince, how did you think it worked last year at the middle school? What they do, check them in, they just put them in their lockers at the beginning of the day and then got them out at the end of the day?
We just kind of maintain that we're not to see them. They're not to be out. they're not to be off, they're supposed to be in the backpacks, but that was kind of a battle. You know, if they had it in their pocket, I didn't battle it as long, I think a lot of teachers didn't battle it as long as they weren't out.
And then what happened if they were out?
Then we took them. A lot of times I would just take it till the end of the day. If it was a repeat offender, I would send it to the office and then they had to go to the office to pick it up. But it wasn't a big issue. We thought it would just be mass argument whenever we went that route, but it wasn't. It was actually really smooth.
And last semester at J.O. Kelly, their rule was you could have it through breakfast, and then they had to put it up, and you couldn't see it anymore. And if it did the same thing, and that was like with 6th and 7th graders, like you guys too, and it worked just fine. There was some, and they knew once you saw it, that it was gonna get taken. Only difference was you could call the office and somebody come pick it up, so you were not responsible. And they had to go there, and then it was recorded, and they got it from the principal or somebody in the office at the end of the day, and then the same thing, second time, somebody from home had to come get it, and none of them wanted that, so. So,
And that's probably pretty consistent with what most districts do.
I just can't imagine trying to check them in and check them out.
I'm pretty sure that's what the handbook said last year.
Put them in those bags.
But I'm like,
They
Steve,
locked,
we'll have
locked them in the
enforcement.
bin.
Yeah.
They're gonna
And it
put,
was a,
yeah, like if
Was
your
there
your
no
parents
job?
coming to get the phone, like you said,
So
nobody
I-
wants to get their kids.
I just share that with you, so you'll have it for the information it's worth, and we will come back and revisit that after we've all had a little bit of time to process through that. A couple other things I'd like to share with you. Number one is the sale of the land that you all approved last month. We are working forward, we're moving forward on that. We have not finalized anything on that, but we are moving forward on that. The baseball and softball building that you all discussed, I have talked to Hyatt Jackson multiple times, architecture firm. I have worked with them before, and they are excellent group to work with. We do have a meeting set up next week to discuss where we are with land preparation and what would need to be done for that. So I have talked to the mayor, talked to the chief of police. We had a school safety training today that I thought was excellent, and thank you for helping us organize that. I thought it was an excellent training. There has been a lot happen in the past few days, and we are moving forward with the start of school. We met today, and I believe, we've got a lot of work to do. When you listen to them talk, it makes you think, how are we gonna get there? But we'll get there. We'll get there, and so we do look forward to the start of school. Would somebody share the open house night was
August 14th. This year, we are going to start it at 4 and extend our hours, so 4 to 7. So hopefully that'll help with some of the traffic issues that we have and allow parents to spend time at every campus if they have kids on multiple campuses.
I got a question for you, Mr. Law. Are you regretting it yet?
no, sir.
Good deal.
Let me tell you, I want to thank this group for helping me. I want to thank you all for giving me this opportunity. Things are different, you know.
I'm sure.
That doesn't mean they're bad, you know. That they're just different. I'm sure every school is different, you know. And so I've had a little bit of a learning curve as we go. I have enjoyed my time here. I just haven't had much of a better day than I had in St. Paul the other day, going down and meeting those people. Our group that we worked with, I was driving through Alabama talking to Coach Preston about gate prices one day, and I really enjoyed the discussions we had. We had a talk today about expectations, and I think we're all in agreement. This is a wonderful school district, and we're all lucky to be here. It doesn't mean it's perfect. Doesn't mean there's not a few fleas on the dog, you know. But it is. I'm kind of. but you know, it's a great place. And there will be, we will work to make some changes, and we will work to address a few issues, and we, but I think we've got a great team to do that with. I haven't met many students yet, but I do know we have some quality students. I look forward to them. I met some teachers today at the high school, and that went well. So, no, sir. To answer your question, no, sir. I'm not regretting anything. I've enjoyed my time. I've enjoyed getting up and coming to work every day, and it's been a great experience.
But Mr. Preston, did they ever get the bathroom fixed down at the field house where they got a little privacy?
Yes, the bar has been hung, and I know they have a curtain to put up, so yes, that's in the works going on, so I know the bar's up there, so.
How are we looking for enrollment? Have we had, like?
So I don't have enrollment numbers in the packet, and that was pointed out to me, and I apologize for that. I didn't know that I was supposed to. So, I'm not sure that we could really get a very accurate enrollment number at this point. I think in certain grades we could, in other grades it would be more difficult, but we will have enrollment numbers.
Well, I'm not talking total numbers, I'm talking like for Jennifer and Caleb, like are you looking at like certain grades now, people are coming in and your numbers are, like we're looking at maybe having to find, add another section, another class?
No,
Yeah.
I've had, no, I've had, just a couple come in, but not enough to where we would need another staff member.
And we will, next month, we will certainly have a much better feel for where our numbers are, and I will make sure that those are provided for you. I was asked about this afternoon, and I thought, oh, there's my first mix-up.
Hey, I just want to add, I about forgot, but Bruce had asked me to just let you all know they're at Renaissance training that they've been to I think this is the third year they've went. And they're actually presenting this year, so that's exciting. He was nervous about it, but exciting that our school district is going to a national conference like that and presenting. So just very excited about them being there, and they're doing great things. So.
It's an immensely light agenda. It was, with me just being here a short time, but that is what we have for tonight. That's everything I have.
There's nothing else. I'll take a motion to adjourn. Motion by Natalie, second by Nick. All in favor?
Thank you.